got some glistening, some bits of glow. So we want to add maybe more post effects to this Starfield. To do that, we're going to add something called chromatic aberration. What that is it's color fringing in camera lenses, where the colors are focusing just slightly off. You'll usually see it at the edge of subject matters in photography. Usually you don't want it if you're a photographer, but in this case we want to add it because it adds a little bit more realism to our scene. Now, to do this, we need to pull a color channel and move each color channel slightly to give that effect. Let's duplicate our main Starfield. Before we do that, let's take out the glow off the first duplicate and call this main Starfield R. And now we want to use an effect called shift channels. Put that on top. Take green from full off. Take blue from full off. And this is our red channel. Again, duplicate. Put G for that for green. Red full off. Green from green. Self-explanatory for the next one. Can't follow me now. Please unsubscribe. Yep. I said it. I'm joking. You'll get there. Okay, so we want to take all three of these, pre-compose it, call this, let's be really cool and call it Lens FX, because I'm dyslexic and I don't want to spell chromatic aberration. Add the blending mode to add, go into your lens effects, make the blending modes for all of these add, and in each one, before we do that, zoom into your comp so you can see it working. So move each comp a couple of pixels and you'll start to see it emerge here, and you can really play with how you want that. It's a little bit of blue there, and I know it's so subtle and you're like, why are you making me do this? I'm not. You can add this if you want, but I'd recommend it just to learn about the color shift. Go back to your Starfield comp layer. I still think that's not enough. Maybe bring the red over a little bit and go back to your Starfield base, and you'll start to see it emerge here. But you do see it. It adds glow. It adds a little bit of color variation. You can toy with this a little bit, you know, bring down your opacity, bring up your opacity. And this essentially can be your own effect, and you can do with it as you please. Just make sure, you know, you're not scaling it because you lose the effect then. Bring it to 80. Okay, now that we have that done, we need to add some color correction to this. So let's go for tritone. And let's add it to the post effects. Let's bring our midtones to a white, maybe just a tinge of blue to it. And that's going to affect the stars more. Your shadows is going to affect the darker bits of the scene. And what you want to do is you want to try and find a tint. So I like this blue. I think that works really well. You could even toy around with this effect and, you know, change the colors of the star. It gives you a little bit of control over the color actually of the scene. It just needs to be quite subtle. So bring it up to 85 and you can see it on off. Now we need a little bit more glow to this scene, and to do that we go back into our main Starfield and we can add the glows here. So the After Effects glow isn't great, but we want to put it on our base layer with the blending mode of normal. And the radius we want to tighten up to about 2, and you'll see what that's doing already, because if we pull the radius out, it doesn't know where to affect. The only time glow is very effective is when it has very little color to work with. That's the After Effects one. So you can play with the threshold here. We don't want to be affecting too many stars. Maybe bring up the intensity with that, not too much. The more intense this is, you can already see it looks really uniform. So maybe bring it to 1.2. Maybe tighten up the glow radius and bring this back down to 40, or bring it up maybe to, let's go for 60 on that. Back to the default and bring that down to 0.5, and we can affect our glow here as well. Maybe bring up the intensity, the radius a little bit, but it's not looking bad, and you have a really good basis to play with. Let's keep warping stuff, and maybe our lens effect might be quite strong here. So let's go back into our tint tone and take these midtones, maybe make them a little bit more towards our original color. And blend that a little bit more. 91 will do. And you can see what that pulsed effect is doing to maybe 0.5. Tighten up our radius big time here, I think. Bring that back up to 1. I think that's much better already. And you're getting just that slightest bit of chromatic aberration on the stars, and you're still getting your glistening. Now, I think there's a lot of stars populating our scene. And the nice thing about this whole setup is we can go right back in and just take down the contrast. I would go mad, have fun with this. It is limited. It's a limited effect. You'll see how it can be used as a subtle backdrop with a scene. It's good for something quick, easy. If you want to create an actual Starfield that can be very kind of dynamic and needs to be art directed quite stringently, I wouldn't go for this effect. I'd use maybe a 3D package or trapcode, or a particle system would be much stronger in this situation if you need very kind of stringent art directing. Anyway, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and goodbye.